Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Please confirm if I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Thank you, Dhanashri. I appreciate. Okay, let's go ahead. Sorry for that. Yeah, I shared. So last session, we have before the one session break. So what we have done last session, we completed the CSS part, cascading style sheet. Let me just update that. Yeah, so we learned the concept and also applied to HTML. We've seen, what are three level of style sheet in, document level or external. That is document level is internal. We've gone through this three example also. We understood, which got a higher priority and so on. So that we have seen this example also we have done inline document level, which is internal. Document level is also called as internal. Okay, that's why I thought of just updating you. We have seen example of external. Then we've also gone through the selector. Okay, simple, class, generic, ID, universal. So this all example we have done. So that dot one was for a class selector, generic selector. We have seen how to use this selector using ID in case of the class. Uh, Universal selector, the star also we are applied. Star color red means apply to all the elements. Okay, this thing. We've done n number of demo actually. Okay. Uh, what is this? Yeah. The font property we have seen, I think one or two example only. Text list colors also we've gone through, few colors example. And box model also we have seen, how does box model works. So this was a part of the CSS. I'll just close it. We'll go to a next, which is JavaScript. Okay, so this two content session number 7 and 8 will see a few examples on a JavaScript. Okay, so I have this entire presentation which is already uploaded. Okay, and we want to concentrate on in JavaScript on the following model. Uh, JavaScript uses uh, what are the various operations, output and keyboard input. We'll see this input will be seen next, control statement, object creation, array function, error in scripts. Okay, this is what we're gonna see. Okay. Hmm. So let's just I'll just refer that document. Okay. Yeah. Let me share this. Yeah. Yeah. So JavaScript, which was developed by Netscape. So Netscape is the inventor of JavaScript, and uh, and it was named Mocha, but soon was renamed to LiveScript. So they were, something in the naming, and we should not be bothered about it, honestly. Okay. So 95 it was actually launched. Okay, and it is basically used more towards this is a client scripting technology. Okay, like HTML, CSS, JavaScript also client side technology. Okay, so whatever coding you want to do coding before we send it to a server for further processing. Okay, so that is one thing. Uh, yeah. So use of JavaScript used for basically validation purpose. Okay. So any kind of validation plus some if you want to create any interactive program within the script. For example, there is a button. Okay, you want on click of the button you need certain message. Okay, so that is not possible with CSS and HTML alone. So you need some kind of programming aspect over there. So that is where JavaScript can be helpful. and let's say you have a form, and on that form you want to you want to do some kind of validation. Okay, so for that also you need the use of JavaScript. Okay, so that is the use. So object orientation JavaScript. So JavaScript is basically it's an object based language. Okay, it's not object oriented language. Okay, so object based means actually it's not purely object oriented. Okay. So it's supposed property-based inheritance. That means the prototype-based inheritance. The properties of an object are referenced by attaching the name of the property to the variable. You will see this. I mean, very high level to talk about it. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'll just stop and better I'll share the more detail. Okay. So I already talked about why we use JavaScript. So JavaScript is a programming language of the web, and it can update and change both HTML and CSS, and it can calculate, manipulate, and validate data. Okay. So let's say on runtime, you want to change the look and feel of the your any element of the HTML. So there we can use JavaScript. Okay. You want to validate something? I already talked about it. So validation of the form, we need JavaScript and so on. Okay. Uh, yeah, fine. So and again, when you learn JavaScript, yeah, and so you have to also learn HTML and CSS. Okay, because these three are tightly dependent on each other. Okay, so because JavaScript is the code which is a part of the HTML code. Okay, and HTML code will definitely find a CSS. So these three are basically linked closely with each other. Okay. Uh, JavaScript can do various things. It can change the HTML content. Okay, so uh, and also before we see an example, few fact that so JavaScript, that's a very interesting story. Is that JavaScript and Java are a completely different language, but both are in concept and design. They actually, like I told you, it was live script they called it. Okay, but earlier why they rename it to a JavaScript, because in 95 Java was a famous programming language, newly launched. It was well famous across the globe. So they actually just took that reference. Otherwise, there is no relation with the Java programming language. Okay, so understand one thing. Okay, it's totally different. So nothing related to Java. It's just they took a name franchise. That's it. Okay. Uh, and it was invented by Brendan Itch in 95 and become ECMA standard in 97. Okay. So ECMA is basically the official name of the standard ECMA script, official name of the language. Okay. So yeah. Now the things come. Where do you write JavaScript? How do you write, and what are the content that we're gonna see? Okay. So any JavaScript code, has to be written inside a script tag. Okay. So that is so wherever you see a script tab, a script tag on your HTML, that means it's a JavaScript code. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm quickly gonna open a the example folder for you. So very simple Java. So few pointers. JavaScript is an object-based language. Okay, it's not object-oriented. There is no relation between a Java programming language and Java language. Why we should use JavaScript? If so, if you want to do any kind of programming, and JavaScript is a client-side technology. Okay, so client-side technology means it cannot connect to a database. Okay, and then and remember one thing, and it cannot interpret any kind of language transformation to HTML. Okay, so that is all done by server side. Okay. So again, purpose of JavaScript, you can do an interactive, programming through a web form, and it's used for validation of the, mainly purpose was basically two purpose. One is that to make interactive program on the HTML CSS side for the web page, and also to do a validation. These were the two, main purpose actually. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna share the. We'll see your example here right away, and then I'll explain you. So, okay, so let me just explain. Uh, yeah, this is the code. Okay. Now, where do you write a JavaScript? So for writing any kind of JavaScript code, we need to, look for a script tag. Okay. So wherever, like, writing a CSS code, again, the CSS style was written using a, style tag for the, internal, CSS. Okay. For inline, style tag was not required. So where we gonna put a JavaScript code, where we gonna write a JavaScript code, the answer is that whatever JavaScript code you want to write, you can write inside a script tag. Okay, script tag. Fine. So a script tag, you have to start the script tag as this way, and once you starting the script tag, you have to close the script tag. Okay, and inside this you can write whichever the JavaScript code is there. Okay, so remember one thing: where do you, where we need to write a JavaScript code? Any JavaScript code we need to write inside a script tag. Okay, that is the answer. Okay, so this is one code, you know, where, basically what will happen. And also the script tag can be written inside a body section, or it can be also written inside a header section. Okay, or this JavaScript code can be written inside some external file. We're gonna do the demo. Okay, now this is a very simple demo where, I have a, S2 tag is there. Then we have, a paragraph where ID is demo, just to identify. So why we give ID or a name to a any element? Very simple, because if you want to do any kind of programming, or you want to refer those, thing, those element, for a programming purpose, or for doing any kind of, access, so we can refer them by either name or ID. Okay. So I have a script tag I am written inside a body. I am closing the script tag. Now this is a syntax we will get familiar as we go ahead with the more example. Now what it says that document. Okay. So it treats your web page as a document. Okay. What it does, it treats your web page as a document. I am saying that go to a document and get element by ID. I mean capture this element. Okay. So go to a document, capture this element. Which element? So which element will capture, and how it will identify the element. So to identify element, on the web page, we need to give them a ID, okay, or a name, whatever. So in double quotes, I'm specifying the ID. Now, what is the element? Is there? Do we have any identifier with the name demo? Yes. So this paragraph is there, and it is saying that inner HTML. Okay, I'll talk about inner and HTML and so on, and put value is equal to my first JavaScript. So it is saying that go to a web page, identify an element called demo. Okay, so element which has the ID called demo, go there, put its inner HTML as, my first JavaScript. Okay, so this is already saved. Let me run this, and then we'll see the demo here. So this demo talks about where to use. So you see that. So my first JavaScript. So the paragraph which we have over here, okay, is text has become a where's the code? Yeah. So see, instead of hi, now it is showing as. Oh, I need to browse this. Yeah, this way. Okay. So earlier it was hi. What we have done, we have changed the text to a my first, JavaScript. Okay. So see, this programming is happening at runtime. Are we getting it? So the moment you remove this, and there is no impact. Okay. So I'll just save this and see. Now nothing will happen. See, it is coming as high. So this was the original text, but because of this programming, we are allowed to, do this. So what I'll do, I'll, slowly introduce, all the component, not that we can. So this was just, where we can use JavaScript. So JavaScript code can be inserted inside a script and script tag. And when you're starting a script tag, you have to close the script tag. Okay. So this is one. We'll see a various example. Okay. Uh, and see, JavaScript, entire JavaScript basically based on, two beautiful things. One is called functions, other is called events. Okay. So what are the function? These are all the inbuilt functions, have been given by JavaScript. Okay. So there are many such function. Okay. Function related to a number, function related to string, function related to any button activity. So how, function and events are related. Okay. So let's say you have a button. Okay. When you click on that button, that is called event. Okay, so when you click on that button, that is called event. But on click of that, so what will do? So there are various function are associated with the event. So if I click on the button, on click event is it is actually on click event. So internally it will actually call the on click function. Okay, so that's how they are related very strongly with each other. So what we need to find out in JavaScript, whichever elements we have, HTML element, we need to find out that what are the various event of it. Okay, and and to basically write particular programming, and I mean, what are the event, and because of that event, what are the function will get generated. Okay, so if there is a button, if you click on it, it is called on click event. Okay, so we need to be aware about all this information. Okay, so it's mentioned here. For example, a function can be called when event occurs, like when the user clicks a button. Okay, so function and events are related with each other in JavaScript very strongly. So, and we have to thorough about it. What are the various So first of all, with all the HTML element, what events are possible, and those events are generating calling which kind of function. Okay, so that we have to remember. Uh, then you can write a JavaScript either in head or body section. We will see this as we move ahead. Okay, fine. So usually what they do that in head section, they write a function. Okay. So they say that, okay, all the function could be written in head section, and then, other thing we can write in body section. Okay. So they are saying that in this example, the JavaScript function is placed in the head section of an HTML page. The function is invoked when button is clicked. So what I'm going to show you this example. Uh, Please allow me some time. Okay, this is the code. Let me show you this, friends. Oh my God. I think this is by mistake. Oh, I need to delete this. Sorry about it. Okay. Yeah. So, uh, so please allow me some time, because I'm just making an introduction over here. Otherwise, so I have a a script tag. This we have written inside of it. Okay. So what they say that, so how will you create a function in JavaScript? We have to use a function keyword, then give any function name. There can be parameter and cannot be parameter. That we'll see later on. Okay. Now what I'm doing, whenever this function is called, and it's like your Java function only, or C++ function only. Only difference that we have to use a keyword called function, any function name, start the braces and close the braces. Okay. And then in between, whatever JavaScript syntax we can write. Okay. So I'm saying document.get element by ID demo, convert this inner HTML to a paragraph change. Okay, do this. Now this script we have to close. We have to close the head section. Now in body I have S2, then we have paragraph ID. Okay. So now how we are gonna call this function? Okay, this function will be called because of certain event. Okay, if certain events happen, this function will be called. So what we are saying, we have a button type on click. Okay, that means whenever a button is clicked, so when you click the button, on click event will be fired. Okay, and what it will do is that it will we are saying on click of the button, this particular event, you call this function. Okay, that's what the relation over here. Okay, so we are saying on click of the button you call my function, so it will call this JavaScript function. So let me save this first, friends, and we're gonna run this from here. So if we see from this code, why this let yeah. So look at the code here. So we have S2 demo JavaScript in head. This is the header. Then this is a paragraph. A paragraph has been written here. This one. then we have a button called try. Okay. Now what we are saying, mentioning this button on click. Okay, my function. That means on whenever this button is clicked, the on click event is fired. I'm saying whenever on click is happening, you call this function. Okay. And where is this function written inside the? It will HTML knows that it's basically a what is called my function, and it's a scripting. Okay, so it goes to script tag and finds this, and then it will say get element by id. Id is what? Demo. And inner HTML. Okay, so look at it, the paragraph is changed. Okay, this one, you again refresh it, it is gone. And this thing. Okay, so these are the few example. We're just looking at. Okay, you can also write a script or function in the body section. So basically, better the best practices is that always write all the function in the head section, because your JavaScript code remains distinguished from the HTML code. Otherwise, if you write in the body section, uh, you know, especially talking about the function, then it's all like a merge code. You won't be able to identify. I mean, identification is very easy, but yeah. So even you can write inside a body section. So I will not show you this demo because we already did one demo on the head section. Okay. So what only difference is that the entire script which was in the head section, like here, this has been transferred to a body section. Okay. That is the difference. Uh, we need to save a time. Okay. Then you can also write a JavaScript in another external file. Then you can refer it over. That is called external JavaScript. Okay. So what is external JavaScript? We can write our function or any kind of coding in the a separate file. Okay. Its extension should be .js. Okay. And then we can use it in the HTML file. Okay. So I'm going to show this code. Just a minute. So looking for a right code, otherwise it will waste time in. Okay, so external script example is this. I'll show you. Let me first open the notepad. Okay. So what we're doing in this notepad, okay. So first of all, whenever you have external JavaScript, we'll first open a notepad, okay, and we'll create a script code, JavaScript code. So I have this, I already created for us. So let me open this in a notepad. I can show you this. Open with notepad. So this is my one script file. Okay. This is another. Okay. So I have two script files are there. Uh, look at this, friends. Oh, does it? So now look at this file. So this file is my script one, and we have to say it with the extension .js. Okay. So you can see the extension here. So in the my script, we are saying we're writing a function and writing some kind of program here. Okay. This is the first script file. In the second script file also, we are writing a function here, and we are writing this particular programming button to graph. Okay. So two things. So two script file I have. Then there's a this script file. Okay. Now look at the structure of the code, the program. We have one header, then we have paragraph, and we have two button. Okay. First button on click saying my function, call my function. Second button on click call my function too. Okay. And how will you refer this thing external file into a HTML, external JavaScript file is HTML. This is the syntax. Script source equal to myscript.js. Okay, so this is a file extension, and script source equal to myscript2.js. Okay, so I have to make it as one actually. Yeah. So I'll save it. And this source can be anything. It can be your whatever path, or it can be some page from a URL. Right now it's on my machine, so I'm just putting double quotes. So if we go and run this, the script file, where is that example? External script. Okay, let's just. So this is the code. This one. So we have H1, the paragraph. We have two buttons, right and next. Thing you can see. Okay. Now the moment I click the first button, it will call my function. It is changed paragraph here. And what are the coding we have written? But where is this my function? It will search for a my function on the same page. If it is there inside the same file, if it is there, it will override it. Okay. I mean, it give the priority to that. Again, things remain same. Like remember in CSS we have done. We have refer a external file, then we refer a style sheet. So if you refer a style sheet later on, I mean external style sheet later on, that will override the internal style. Okay. So that's the same thing over here. Now what we return inside a my function actually. So in my function we return, which in the first script is paragraph change. Okay, this is a text being written. On click of the button, my function is called. Now let's go to a next button, and it is saying paragraph 2 is changed. Button 2 paragraph change. Okay. So on the second, this one, we are saying button 2 paragraph change. Okay, and this is actually getting invoked because of this click. So this is a way of referring a. So very simple. Create a JavaScript file. Create a code which you want to write inside a JavaScript, and not necessarily to write a function. You can write any coding, even simple expression also in the external file, and just refer using a script tag. Script source equal to this, and use it wherever you want to use it. Okay. We're gonna do more, examples like this. But remember one thing, external script cannot contain a script tag. Okay, because you embed that code over here. So what will happen that within a script tag, another script tag will come. So nested script tag are not allowed, because you are sourcing. So what will happen there, when you say source, it will actually copy the code of that file inside a script tag. So actually what it does at runtime, whatever code you have in the my.js file, like this one, just for example. So when this replacement happen, it will just copy this code here. Okay? And actually this will go away then. So if we write that inside a script in the external JavaScript file, if you're using a script, that it will have the nested script. Okay, so that is not allowed. Okay, so few things. And benefit of JavaScript, we are already aware. It separates HTML and code. Okay, that is one benefit. It makes HTML and JavaScript easier to read and maintain, and cache JavaScript files can speed up the page load. Okay, I mean you don't need to maintain such files over here. So this example we already seen. Then how do you display in JavaScript? Okay, so to display in JavaScript, again, as the version has increased, as we are advancing to a more smart browser, there are many functions that have come. I'm not covering all, but these are the few you can display. So output, okay, how do you display output on the screen? So you must have seen one or two functions already. One, okay. So we can display the data in different ways, like we can write into HTML element using inner HTML or inner text. We'll see that. Or you can use document.write, or we can also use window.alert, or we can use console.log. Okay. So these are the various way where you can write output. Okay. Fine. We'll see them. Okay, now we have two things: inner HTML and the inner text. Okay, um, that will also help us to write the output. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take one demo where it will explain us all. Okay, the inner HTML and inner text and inner HTML. Okay, so what inner text does, inner text, uh, inner text property sets or return the text content as a plain text or specified node and its descendant, whereas inner HTML property gets and set the plain text or HTML content in the elements. Now, uh, let me run this. First of all, show you that code. Okay, yeah, this one. So you'll get the idea. I will open in a notepad. Okay, so we'll show you. Okay, so that's a big code here. Okay. Okay, let us run that file also. So what this file says, we have. Let me close all this. Shall not. Yeah. So have a look at this code. It's a very simple code actually. So head section will just skip it. So in body, some align style is applied, takes align. So that is not required at this moment. In fact, we can make it just very simple. Okay. Uh, this green is coming because of this style. So I'll just knock this out. Okay. Uh, I will save it. Now, if you see, I have a div tag, like we seen in the last section. Div act like a container. Okay. It has following thing. The following, element contains some. Then it has some, code tag where code is written and slash code and italic, some italic text and the div. So this is a content of the div tag. Okay, fine. Yeah. And then we have empty paragraph. Then we have two button here. Okay. So on click of the first button, we are calling a inner HTML function. Okay. On click of second button, we are calling inner text function. Okay. So let's. Uh, so whenever the button is clicked, it will call inner HTML function here. And where is the inner HTML function? So we created a script tag over here. Look at it. And function inner HTML. And we are saying let x. See, basically in JavaScript, if you want to define a variable, then we use a keyword called let. Okay. We can also use a keyword called var. So if you want to define a variable and assign a value to it, there's a keyword called let. Let. Okay. So we are saying let x. Okay. And in JavaScript, everything is basically a kind of it's just a variable type. You can say object type. Okay. So no need to define that variable. Okay. It is a variant type, you can say. Okay. So I'm saying whenever this function is called, document.getElement by ID, identify a test. Okay. And write down alert x dot inner HTML. Okay. Fine. So inner HTML is a property of a this. So like I said, JavaScript is a object based, means it will have a property and value based kind of combination. So every variable it has some kind of property. Okay. So x dot inner HTML, it will be displayed when this is called, this button is called. Okay. When this button is clicked, inner text, it will call this function and it will say alert x dot inner text. Okay. Now see the difference here. So click on inner HTML, see what it displays. It says following code element contains some code slash code and italic some text. Okay. So what inner HTML does, it will display the content of the HTML. Okay. Now what is the content of the HTML element? Now what is the content of HTML element? What could be a content of HTML element? Anyone? Uh, can I have some view over here? What could be the content of HTML element? Content of HTML element. Any thought around here? Anyone? What could be a content of HTML element? So what it says, that whenever you inner HTML is what? Whenever you say inner HTML dot inner HTML property, it will give the content of the HTML element. Now, what do you mean by content of the HTML element? Anyone? Any thought around it? What could be the content of the HTML element? What could be that? Yeah, Ashish, you want to say something? Anyone? Let me open the notepad. See, content. Let me show this. Content. Sorry. Content of HTML element. So what could be it? So it could be text, okay, or it could be element itself. So HTML content of HTML element can be simple text. So like you can say P and just say hi. Okay, P and then say hi and slash P. Okay. This could be, so what is the content of the HTML element? Hi is the content right now. It can also consist of the another element. For example, we can say inside P, I have a, let's say, italic tag. Okay, I'll display something and slash I. Okay. So content can be either a simple text or it can be an element itself. That is a content. So when you say inner HTML, when you say inner, when you refer to a property called inner HTML, okay. So when we refer a property called inner HTML, it will display content of the HTML element as well as the I mean, whatever it is, the content along with the entire HTML. Okay, I mean the whatever it consists of. Either it can have a text and can also have the element itself. So that's the reason why when I click over here, okay, see, you click here, it display not only the the text but also the element itself. Let me show you the exactly how the file look like. So this is a file, your HTML. See, it has this. So the ID, so it has the following element content. It consists of this element called code and italic. So div tag itself is a itself consists of two elements. So it display both the content, which is the following element is the content sum. Code is also content, text content, and some text is also text content. So displaying both the thing. Inner HTML means the content, text content, as well as the whatever the element it consists of. That is the inner HTML. Okay. Now I will just do okay. And what is the inner text? Okay. So how do we refer the inner text property? Uh, Inner HTML, how do you refer? You will just say dot inner HTML. This is a way. How do you refer a inner text? It is using a property called inner text. Okay. When you say inner text, it will just display the text, the content, not the element. Okay. So let's look at here. So if I click on this, see, it is not displaying any element here. It will just display the text of the element. It won't display the element, entire. So inner HTML display text and element both. Inner text display only the text of the element. So you look at here. I'll show you. See. So this div tag has this particular element text. The following element contains some code. Okay, so it is printing contains some code. Okay, and so end is coming here. This because of this and some text. So that's the difference. Inner text will display only the text part of it, text of the particular element. Inner HTML will display both the text along with the element itself. So when we were clicking on the this one, see, it is displaying text along with the element. Look at here. See, this element tags are also coming, this syntax. But in case of inner text, only the content. So that's the difference in case, it is asked somewhere. Okay. And it says that, the inner text property set to text, you can also set to return the text contains the plain text of the specified node. Node means that particular element. And all its descendant, whereas inner HTML property gets and set the plain text or plain text or HTML content in the element. Okay. This thing. So this is the inner text, and let's see. Okay. We can also display we can display output with one using the inner text or inner HTML. We can also display the output using a document.write. Okay. So this thing can also be done. You can directly use write method of this particular document. Okay. So this can also be done. So I'll show you. Document write. Let me open the notepad. So this is example. So I have a button. On click, I'm saying document.write 5 plus 6. Actually, this way also you can, call the script function 5 plus 6. So whatever the value 5 plus that will be displayed, or, I can also show you this example. This is pretty simple actually. Yeah. So this way, inside a script tag, document.write 5 plus whatever these are the two numbers, so it will add it actually. So it can perform the addition task. Let me open it for you. See 11. So once this page is running, 11 will be displayed. This is the button actually. No, not this one. This one. So you can use document.write. Okay, inner then dot inner HTML, then inner text. Okay, then this is the displaying. How can we display on the web page? Okay, we can also have window.alert. Okay, so it treats the entire. It's actually a window. So we can also, it has the alert box property. Okay. So we can display using alert box also. Okay. So in fact, we can skip window keyword. That's not required. I'll show you the example. So basically, in JavaScript, window object is a global scope object. This means that variable properties and method by default belong to window object. Also means specifying window keyword is optional. Okay. So I'll show you that example number 6. Yeah, alert. Yeah, see, because you're launching the window, so that's the reason why it will display whenever it is launched is 11. So that is how it is. Just a minute, let me first close this. Yeah. So alert. Then very important is that the console.log. Okay. So console.log can also help us to display, but console.log won't be able to viewed by. It is not available for a user. Okay. So the user will be able to see whatever done using display using inner text, inner HTML, and alert. Console.log something is for our internal purpose. Okay. So like you go to ATM machine, you withdraw the money. Okay. But there are certain messages which are happening. Okay. But we don't want to display to the user. Okay. So that we can see it on the console. Like your error output redirection. Okay. Like or error redirection. If there are certain error that I don't want to display to the user, I want to redirect to a file. So something like console can it's basically used for a debugging purpose. So what I can do, I can show you that example here. See this thing. Let me open this. Okay, let me open the source code of the example. Yeah. So I said, okay, body tag and script, and I'm saying console.log 5 plus 6. So this you're saying, and then you use a log property. Okay, log property. It writes to a log. Okay, the browser log basically. So console with browser console it will be displayed. So it won't be displayed on the screen here. So you can see nothing is displayed on the screen. No, this output. You close this. Yeah, here. See, nothing in display. But then where is the output has gone? It has gone into console. So how will you see it? So you have to right click on this and then go to inspect. So I'm right clicking on the web page, inspect, and this we're gonna see one by one. As time comes. Okay. So like last time I showed you the box property here, and you can see, and I told you that every element is basically a box. Okay. In case of HTML, also see. It applies this. Every element is a box in itself. Okay, so applies this box as padding, border, margin, and so on. So that's the reason why that last session was very important to understand how does it work. Now you go to a console and you see a 11 over there. See, look at this. Okay, so that is how you can see. And again, uh, since we are not using a particular hi-fi editor over here, so any error can also you can see in a console only. So let's say if I do some mistake here. Okay, so I'm just you know uh, deleting that script and let me save it. Okay, so nothing is coming. Fine. So let's go to console. Is this save? It should display error, but why it's not showing? No, this is the script. Oh, actually, it is not saved here. Okay. So are we ripping this file? Okay, I saved it. Let's refresh this. Over to close this, inspect, refresh, inspect. You can see that because of the error, see it is not coming here actually. Okay, because of that error. And the moment you should display the error message also. I am just uh, and it displays it actually. Let me just check that. See, now it is coming. Yeah, it was giving some. This is a file name. If I could, yeah. Okay, so four way we have seen: inner text, inner HTML, alert, and the console log. Okay, so let's go ahead and see a few statements, JavaScript statement. Okay, so let me see a file name. Example, I'll first close this file. Yeah, fine. Yeah. So the statement can be anything, and it can be written inside a script file. So either you write script in header or body. It's up to you. So I created a script, and these are the statement. The statement can be your expression, your variable declaration, or it could be anything. Okay. So like this example I'll explain. So when I say let x comma y comma z, so I'm actually declaring a variable. Okay. So declaring a variable there, x comma y comma z, and then we are assigning a value to a variable. Okay. In JavaScript, you can separate one statement with another using a semicolon. The one statement with another using a semicolon. So like I have a, so I'm, terminating with semicolon here. So statement ends with a semicolon. Okay. A list of statement. So x equal to 5 semicolon, y equal to 6 semicolon, and then z equal to x plus y. So this arithmetic operator we can perform. And then we are saying document dot get element inner HTML is equal to the value of z is z plus. So you can concatenate, the text and the number. That's like, in printf used to write, like in Java, we can, concatenate string plus, number this way. So this example, we have s2 tag, paragraph tag, where, paragraph ID demo is there. The moment it runs, it loads the script and use, so XYZ, you're defining the variable. So using late keyword, we can define the variable in JavaScript. Okay, fine. And there's a var keyword also, we'll see later on. Okay. And how do you assign value to a variable? This way, simple, like C or Java 6, and simple, arithmetic also we can do x plus y. Okay, this way. Again, we are saying document dot get element by demo, get a demo over here, and convert, right, state is inner text value. So whatever you're, writing this, that will be assigned to inner HTML of the paragraph. Okay. So let's just run this. So today we're just talking about the syntax, and next week we'll do more programming on it. See, look at it. So how it is working. Let me just minimize little. Okay. So we have one statement where we define 3 variable, and this is an assignment statement. This is a statement where we are performing some arithmetic operation plus, and we are saying the value of z is plus z plus dot. I mean, because I want to display this dot here. Okay. So z is 11. This one, the value of z is 11. So look at how slowly we are introducing the programming over here. So these are the few statement. Okay. So it's basically, computer JavaScript basically a computer. It's a program where set of instruction are written. So in programming language, this programming instruction called a statement. I mean, that's we're already aware about. So again, JavaScript also a set of, programming statement like the one which I have, done here. Let that this is also a statement, document dot inner get element by ID inner HTML. So like here, so JavaScript statements are comprised of value, operator, expression, keywords, and comments. Okay. So comments is like a C comment only, slash star for multiple line, sorry, slash star slash for multiple or single line, and double slash for single line. I know that we are coming from a Java also, so we know that. Okay. So this example, if you can see, okay, here. So what could be the output of this example? Anyone can help me to understand what could be the output if we run this? Friends, can you give a try? Output of this code. What could be the output of this code? Anyone? Friends, please give a try. Let me also share on the chat. I'll close all the window. Anyone please give a try output of this code. It's pretty simple actually. So we have a S2 tag. Then we have one paragraph tag, just simple text has been written. Then we have ID, one paragraph with the ID demo. And we have written a script tag. Inside script tag, we're writing document.get element by ID demo, get an element whose ID is demo, which is here, and assign to its inner HTML which value? Hello Dolly. Okay. So it's a simple example actually. We have seen many such example like this. We can say test dot, and the file extension will be HTML only. HTML. So we go there, say test. See, hello dolly is coming. Okay, because that's what you're trying to achieve it. So semicolon, we already talked about it. What is the role of semicolon? Semicolon separate JavaScript statement. So we written many such things. Yeah, this demo we had already done. Let ABC and this thing. So white space is actually no, that's okay. I mean, okay. So this is important. JavaScript line length and line break. Okay. So for best readability, programmer often like to avoid code line longer than the 80 character. Okay, fine. So if a JavaScript does not fit in one line, the best place to break is that after an operator. So they are saying, let's say, the line, your statement is very long. Okay. And if it doesn't fit in one line, then you can just break it at the operator. Like, in fact, you can break it at the comma level also. I'll show you what they're trying to say. Let me open the, what's the example line? It's 10. See, what they're trying to say is this line break. How do you break the, yeah. So like here, so I realized that when I'm writing this, code, get ID demo dot inner HTML is equal to, I know that obviously it's not taking that longer. Now this length gonna be, bigger and not gonna fit to a single line. After this equal to, I mean, just, it could be, let's say very big line. Okay. So I know that it's not gonna fit here. Okay. For example, and it doesn't look good. Okay. So what you can do that in case you want to write this, so you can continue the next line. And how do you continue? After operator, you can put enter. Okay, and then you can take you to a next line. That's how the concept is. Okay. Uh, is this 10? Yeah, I'll show you. Yeah, let me run. Yeah, it's working. So it's saying that the best place to break a code line is after operator comma. It is like if you're very lengthy statement, and does not fit into one line. So maybe you can break it after comma or operator. So so operator is equal to, so after that only I entered and then, written the next part of it. If it is fitting in one line, no problem. But that's how, this is just a practices actually, you know. So there are various, like C has a keyword, every programming language has a keyword. JavaScript also has a keyword. Okay, you can see the whole list of references. Uh, I'll copy we can, let me also show you. Yeah, this is a list. So these are all keyword, we have in JavaScript cannot use these reserved words as variable, label, or function because these are keywords. So we have abstract, boolean, catch, okay, continue, do, eval, final, function. Remember, we had use a function while writing a function. There's an int also, native, private, short, while is there, using is there, These are the break, char, debugger, default, delete, const, You can also find let. See, this is let, okay. There are many. We will use it them. Okay. So what is a star that been marked added to a JavaScript from 2015? So the which has been marked with the star, they added. So like export, extend, let, import, they have been added after even super also. And this, has been removed. This keyword like, abstract, double, int, final, long, throws. All this has been removed from a, a, a keyword actually. So they are like where what these are a few keyword like, what var does, declares a variable. Let also declares a variable, but at a block level. So if you want to declare any local variable at the block level, I will show you the example. Okay, var also declares the variable, but the if you declare the variable var, it becomes a global variable. If you declare it outside a function, that's the difference. LET variable is used for basically used for the purpose of declaring a local variable. Uh, okay, we'll talk about that. Then there's a const means constant variable. Okay, if to we already know, if switch for function is there, return try is there. Okay, okay. So few syntax thing. So JavaScript is a set of rules how JavaScript program are written. So how to create a variable? Either you can use var or you can also use let. So uh, let variable is basically you can say used for a local variable creation. If anything, so anything declared with a let, actually that variable won't available everywhere. It's a local to a particular block. Okay, and if you declare with the var, it become a global to a block. We'll see those one by one. Okay. JavaScript value. So JavaScript value can be either fixed or variable value. I mean, you can hard code it or so fixed value are called as literals. Okay, and variable values are called as variables. We'll see that. So like in this. So this is a demo example 11. Let me show that. Yeah. So here 10.5 number can be written with or without decimal. And this is the code we are referring. Yeah, same thing. Inside script, get element by ID in HTML code 10.50. Okay. You can write decimal or do not write decimal, up to you. Basically, we can also write a, let's say, you know, what is called one more ID. Let's say, this could be demo one, demo two. Okay. And I'll copy and say, I can also write demo one, demo two, and say, just a minute. Hello world. Okay. This thing. So two statements have been written. See this thing. So one with the number and other with the text. So this can also be written. So we have literals and then we have numbers over here. Okay. JavaScript variables. So variable are used to store the value. Everyone JavaScript variable, we can use var keyword or let or const to declare the variable. Okay. And equal to sign used to assign the value. So I mean, no need of doing this. We already know let x equal to 6, and then this thing. These are the operators. A whole list of operators are there, plus, minus, star, slash to compute the value. Okay, so let me show you. What is the example? Example number 14. Hold on, I'll just open this. This is a outcome, but we have to check the code. Open with Notepad. Okay. So we are directly, writing again. This expression can be, tends true also here because we have plus, plus, minus, slash, division. Everything is allowed. Okay. So whatever I'm doing, 5 plus 6 is 11 into 10. whatever 110, this can be written. This is for the output of this code. Let me close it. So how do you do a JavaScript programming? First, you decide what is a problem statement. Okay. Then you decide where you're gonna write a script. You wanna write a script inside a file or external file. If external file, then you need to just refer a script. Okay, that's it. Then what are the code details inside a script? You need to see from where we can call it. Okay, what is the syntax to call it? Is it on call of function or it is just on call of wherever the ID is found? There you want to do it. So those are the things. Equal to operator, we are already done. I think what we can do is that I'll show you in case. Okay, assignment example number 15. Let me open that for us. Yeah. So this is how to use equal to operator or assignment operator. That's the thing. And I'll open a. Okay, so I have a code. So let's say I have. So what I'm gonna do? Let me make it to 1. Okay, so I'll just copy here. 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I created 4 IDs here. Demo 2, demo 3, and demo 4. Okay. So 4 IDs have been created, and what we're gonna do in one ID, we're gonna write a x plus y. So Control V, Control C. Here we're gonna write a x minus y. This gonna be star, and this gonna be a division. Okay. So this is what see. We should know that like this will be pretty simple actually. This is the variable defined in the script tag. X is 5, y is 6. Later on, we're also going to take an input from a prompt. Input prompt is there. I'll save it. Oh, this is the wrong. I need to write demo 1. This should be demo 2, demo 3, and demo. I'll save it. Let's just run this. See, you'll get this entire the impact of this code. So these operators are also allowed. So using let, defining a variable, assigning value, and then performing this operation. Okay. So this is the pretty simple example actually. Let's see what we have next. So expression, an expression, the case can be a combination of value, variable, operator, and compute to a value. So we already written here. This is again an expression: x plus y, x minus y, or phi assigned to x or 6. It's again an expression. This demo they are saying doing here is not required. Okay, so expression can also consist of the Okay, this is not data. Okay, we can also concatenate that we had already seen. Okay. So this demo was done just now. So like let keyword defines the variable let. We also have var keyword. Okay, so var keyword also defines the variable. Okay. Comment we already talked about in JavaScript. Again, like a C or C++ or Java, double slash for single line and slash for a multiple line. So that can be seen. So like, here inside this code, let's say if I want to comment this, okay, so I'll just comment script star, sorry, slash star. Oh, I'm sorry about it. And star slash. Okay. So I commented the plus. Okay, I'll save it. And we're gonna run this. So this 11 won't come because you commented that code. Okay. This one. You can do a multi-line comment also. Control X, and if I just put it here. Now 3 statements have been commented. So it will show only a division. See this thing. This is how it is. Okay. So this is about the variable their declaration, about assignment operator, about arithmetic operator, about command line. So okay. Now how do you define the JavaScript variable or identifier? So the similar to C language, but there are little changes are there. For example, uh, a JavaScript name can begin with the uppercase, lowercase letters. They can also begin with the dollar, okay, and you can also have a dollar inside a as a valid variable name, and they can also consist of underscore. So it can begin with underscore. It can begin with dollar also. Dollar is something new in JavaScript. Like in C, C++, Java, or .NET, any other programming language, you can't begin with the dollar. The variable name cannot begin with the dollar. So here it is allowed actually. Underscore, we can start with the underscore actually. So they are saying note numbers are not allowed as a first character in the name. This may be JavaScript can easily distinguish identify from the number. Okay, so the first letter should not be a number actually. Okay, so your first letter can be letter, or sorry, alphabet. It can be dollar, or it can be underscore, but it cannot be a number. And JavaScript is actually a case sensitive. Yeah, that's right. So uh, instead of okay, so let me case sensitive example. I'll open it. This is the outcome, and let me open a notepad. So yeah, JavaScript is a case sensitive language, friends, like C, C++, Java. So if you look at it here, so if I say, see, look at this, inside a script, we have defined two variable, last name, where all are lowercase, and then last name where n is in uppercase. So it's a case sensitive, okay? So you have to be very careful over here. So to a last name, we're assigning do, and to where n is capital. But actually, the practices say avoid, using the same variable name. Actually, it's similar, but because it is same, but because of case sensitive, it is becoming different. We should avoid it actually. So if you see the last name assigned to inner streamer. Okay. So and the moment you just change it. So right now, what output is coming? Yeah. So it is. Yeah, it's showing Peterson over here. Okay. So it is Peterson. The moment you change this, okay, because the last name are in lowercase, and if I change it, this thing there. Let me refresh. See, it is showing do. Okay. And in JavaScript, if you write a wrong code, it doesn't show the outcome. Okay, but the error can be seen only in the editor. But if you don't have the editor, then that's a challenge. So we are just learning purpose. We are doing in Notepad, but my request are use the editor. Now I did some mistake here. So inner HTML is a property which actually HTML. I removed L and saved it. Let's just see. So you'll come to know, because it's not coming. So you'll come to know that something has went wrong. Okay. So this one. But then where will you see the error? If you can go and inspect. So I'm surprised that it is not showing error actually. Is it the element level? But how come it's not coming actually? I've seen many a time. Yeah, it should actually show you the style. No, competitive won't come, even listener. Console sources. Yeah, I'll just check that. So no problem. So yeah, again, the late and late keyword are different. It's all lowercase. So all keywords are in lowercase. And JavaScript, the uh, JavaScript in camel case. So in various way, you can basically, define the variables or identifier in Java. So but remember that few things to capture. One is that hyphens are not allowed. In fact, I know hyphens are not allowed even in the C++, .NET or Java also. So hyphens are not allowed. It will take it as a minus sign. Okay. So that's there. Very clearly, hyphen not allowed. They are resolved for a subtraction. Then you can use the underscore. Okay. So first name underscore last name whatever. First underscore name last underscore name. So that can be used. We can also use upper camel casing, which means the first letter of the every word, subsequent word should be capital. That is called upper camel casing, or also called as Pascal case. So look at there are two words. So F and N is capital. So first letter of every word must be capital. So it won't give you any error, but just for purpose of following some standard guideline for naming a variable. Okay. So upper camel case is this. First letter of every word is capital. Like first, there are two words. Okay. So L, the first letter is L. The second word, first letter is N. So they are capital, like Mastercard or Intercity. In lower case, what happened that uh, uh, the on the first letter, if there are multiple words, then the first letter is lower. Then subsequent, all the first letter of the subsequent word is capital. That is called lower camel case. Camel casing. Okay. It is up to you want to basically follow. Basically, what they do that in naming programming, they follow a standard set of guidelines. So if team decide that no, I will follow whatever I feel to name the variable, or we will follow the upper camel casing, or we will follow the lower camel casing, and like that. So that can be done, or we'll only follow underscore. There are various character set in Java. I can open it for us. Let's just see. Uh, These are the Unicode version 8 character. Like so, and every character have been given a code. Okay, so for example, A is capital A is 65. You know those ASCII values. Okay. What was it actually? Yeah, it was this way. Uh, so small a was actually 97 and Z was 120 or something like that. Here capital A is 65. You'll add 1 to next letter ASCII value, and Z is actually 90. So this way. We can use them as a part of programming. This is about the character set. Now, JavaScript variable can be declared in 4 ways. One is automatically, means you don't declare it, just use it. Okay. So in that case, it become a VAR. Okay. So if you don't declare and use it, become a VAR. You can declare it using a VAR. Then there's a let and then constant. Constant means you can't change it. I mean, we can't change it. So I'll show you this example. Uh, I hope this is the all the content. So if you look at what's the example number 23. Not sure where it is called. Yeah, this open with notepad. So if you look at here, see, we're not declare the variable. See, then it is a where. It's okay actually. It will whatever value will define, it will become that particular type. Okay? So we are saying, value of z is plus z. It's 23, right? So I will run this. This look at that. The value of z is z. So this is, there are automatically declared when first used. Okay. So we use it, no need of any declaration. Okay. That is allowed in Java or .NET. It's not allowed actually. You can also use VAR. But if it declares in VAR, it become a global variable. That's the difference here. Okay. We can also use VAR. So that demo. So, the VAR keyword was used in JavaScript from 95 to 2015. Actually, they are, you know, uh, trying to remove it. There is a reason because of the global variable concept over there. We will see with the example. Let and const are added to JavaScript 2015, and VAR should only use in the code written for an older browser. Late example we had already seen, so I'm not okay. There's a constant example I can show you. So what is the demos 26? We'll use const keyword. Yeah, const. Oh, some problem is there. Is that? So no problem. We'll resolve it. 26. Okay. So no issue. Let me see the code. Notepad. Okay. So this is so const means what? You can't modify the value. Okay. See. So how do you declare? It's like fixed value. So const x equal to 5, then const y equal to 6, const z equal to x plus y, and so this code is not working. I'll tell you the reason. Okay, so I'm trying to run it, so it doesn't work because there is an error. But since we are using a notepad, so we can't see the error. So If you want to see error, I'll show you. Go to inspect and console. See, it is showing here. It is saying that uncaught type error assignment to a constant variable. So it is saying that this on line number 14, character number 2. So line number. See, that's the reason why if you don't work in the editor, that creates a problem challenges. Let me close it. Yeah, you on this one. So it is saying that, so this is a line number 14. It's saying that assignment to const variable. It's saying that you're trying to modify this variable. Okay. So the moment I comment it here, now you'll get a value. Because const mean you can't change the value. Okay. So let me see. Now you'll get out the value. You look at it. And the error is also gone from a console. Earlier it was coming on the console. So when we are doing this, and if I have it refresh, this is gone. But error is coming here. Okay. In fact, it will take you to the particular, code also. If you click on that error, see, console, you click on this. Okay, when the moment you click, it will take you that exact error. What's the problem? Okay, so you don't need an editor actually. You have the what is called, this inspect browser within a browser. Uh, but I think you can't change it from here. The actually you have to go to a source code to change it. So let's say if I comment this for running for a browser purpose at this moment, that will done. It is not done. Actually, you can change it. That's not a problem. It's not allowing. But if here it does not make any sense because you have to actually change it to a original source code. So if I let's say it is not allowing, but it's possible. Yeah. We change the value. Remember of the some CSS style sheet. So const is done. Let's just see. So this way always in. Okay, so when to use var later const. So or the rule says that always declare the variable. Let me now make a rid of it. Yeah. So always declare the variable. Always use constant if the value should not be changed. So if you want to keep it fixed, always use constant if the type should not be changed. I mean, either you're not changing array or any object type. Yeah, then only use let if you can't use constant. Okay. If you're not allowed to use constant, use let. Only use variable if it must support older browser. Okay. So in case it is not allowing to define the variable and like that, then you can use var because older browser actually won't recognize the let keyword. Okay. So that problem also you may face. Okay. Let me. So there's a difference also has been given. See, a wonderful difference has been given. I'll show you that. Let me close all this. Yeah, I'll open this. Yes. So this is a difference here, and I can show you a few differences actually. Uh, okay, so like this way, let's say you define a variable here, okay, on console or log, and then you are saying, then you're defining, x equal to redefining its file. So it will work because initially it will give undefined value. and that will print 5. So it is possible that variable is not defined you are printing. It will come as undefined, but then later on you can define it and then print it. So that is okay. But what will happen in the let? I'll show you. So in the let, basically it will give the error saying that can't access X before initialization. That's the difference here actually. See, I'll see, look at it. I'll save this. And what's the file name? 626. So like I told you, it won't show the error. So you know, go to inspect and go to console. I'm not sure why it's working here. No, because this is VAR. Okay. Because of VAR, it is working here. So we need to do this changes. I'll make it as let. Okay. It gives error, when you say a let. It says that cannot access X before install. Okay. It takes you to the right code also. So in let, if you're using a let, if you use any variable and then want to declare it as a using let, then you have to first define, then you have to use it. In case of let, in case of VAR, it's okay. I mean, no need to. You can use it later on. You can define later on also. Okay. So declaration is required in case of let before using it. In VAR, declaration is not required. Okay. So thanks so much, everyone. We'll just stop here. I request you to complete the quiz, and then we'll continue from a data type, prospect. Okay. Yeah. So thanks so much, everyone. Have a great day and great weekend. I'm gonna stop this. Please confirm if quiz is accessible, and I will stop the recording.